Well, if you notice on the front of your bulletins there, you've got a picture here of a bull. And this bull right here is N-Bar New Design 036. And he is one of the great sires of all time of the Angus breed. And I've spent a lot of my life in the cattle business and the livestock industry, and for me, just to kind of maybe relate some things to you about how my brain works, when I think about sires, and I kind of compare them with fathers. And so what we're going to look at today is we're going to study about biblical EPDs for fathers today. And what EPDs are is if you're in the Angus business or you're in a bull business and you're trying to buy a bull that's going to really improve your cow herd, you begin to study certain things about that bull, and he's got a list of numbers on him that are going to project what his progeny will be if you use him on your cows. And so what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at those things in the Word of God that will help us be the kind of men that we can have an expected progeny difference in our children. And that's what we're really looking for. And maybe you're here today and you're just starting out as a father. Man, this is for you. Maybe you're here today and you say, John, my kids are teenagers and I've already spent a good many years of my life already doing what I've done. Well, I don't care. This message is for you. Or maybe you're here and you say, John, I've already raised my kids. I've now got grandkids. Guess what? Good news. This message is for you. Ain't none of you getting out of this one today, all right? You all included today. But I'm preaching this message and giving this message to me and to men this morning. That's who we're talking to. I've been introduced just early on as we moved here, made this transition. Very, very fortunate to meet the White family. And just want to share with you a little bit about the White family. I don't know a whole lot about their background, but I do know that Mr. Galen White is a serious cattleman. I know that. And boy, being in the bull business, and one of the things I had the joy of doing was to not only breed the cows to the certain bulls, but to have those calves hit the ground and then raise those bulls up to where they're breeding age and then market those bulls. And I love raising bulls. There's something about the hump on the neck and the muscle and the masculinity and the fighting and all that stuff that goes on. Man, I love to raise bulls. It's a lot of fun. But there's a few different types of bull buyers out there. You've got your serious bull buyer that has studied the pedigrees, that has looked over the EPDs, and understands that this bull's projected EPDs, his numbers, are going to go to my cow herd, and because of what he's projected to do, I'm working toward the end product here, and what I'm looking at is the finished product, and I'm going to spend the money I need to spend in order that I can have the cattle that'll produce the kind of calves that are going to give me the end product that I'm looking for. And then you've got that old cattle buyer out there, that old bull man. He's kind of a hobby cattleman, and I ain't stepping on any of your toes because probably most of you are. But they come to your place, and they say, well, let me see what bulls you got for sale, and you give out the whole sheet and all the EPDs, all the information's all on there, and then the prices are on there. They quickly flipping to the back. How about this old bull right here? Well, that one right there, yeah, this one here, the cheapest one you got. You know this one here, that one here. He's looking for the cheapest bull you've got. One that's not going to do him a whole lot of good. In fact, if he can't buy your bull for that price or cheaper, guess what he's going to do? He's going to go to the sale barn and find him one. Because he doesn't care one bit about the end product. All he cares about is a live baby calf sometime within that year. He don't really care. Because all he wants to do is when that calf gets big enough, he's going to jerk it off that mama, he's going to take it to the sale barn, and he's going to be taking that green bills back to mama. He doesn't care. Mr. Galen White, on the other hand, is a different type of cattleman. He makes his living with these cattle. They have to be able to produce. And he's not selling these cattle when they come off the cow. Mr. White has invested so much time in the EPDs, in the selection process, that he understands that he's going to get paid dividends for the end product at the end of the line. And so what he's doing is he's paying more money for his bulls because he realizes the value of paying that extra money for the value that he will receive at the end of the line. That's in the packing house. That's when they slaughter them. That's when they kill them, when he sells them. So he sends his cattle all year long. He's went to the catalog. He's selected bulls. He's looked at the EPDs. He's studied this thing. And he goes to the sale to buy a cow or a bull. He knows he's going to have to pay some jack for that bull. He does that because he realizes, number one, he's going to get reimbursed for what he spends and invests in that animal. And so he cares for that cow all year, 9 months, 283 days, for her to have that baby. That baby hits the ground. He cares about the birth weight because he wants a live baby calf at birth. He's with that calf all the way to weaning time. He cares about the weaning weight EPD because he wants that calf to wean off as big as it will. And then he moves along. He wants to know that the bull is going to milk good, the maternal side of him. He wants good, all those different things that EPDs are. He cares about the yearling weight because not too long after that, that dude's going to be slaughtered. He wants to know that that thing's got a good growth spread. And so he sends his cattle to a feed yard out west. 25,000 head of cattle at this feed yard now. This is what I'm talking about now. Listen, dads. Don't be a hobby daddy. I like that. Did you catch that? Don't be a hobby daddy. You be an intentional daddy that is not looking for just when they get out of the house, but you're looking for the end result because you have invested so much time and so much interest and so much work in your children that you know because of what you've done, you will be paid dividends in the end. You're not looking for just the weaning weight when they leave home and go to college and you're going, Mama, we got an empty nest. We're going to party now. Although I am looking forward to that, Madeline. I hope you didn't hear that. I love you, honey. I really love you. But I'm looking forward to the day that I get to date my wife, sometimes just the two of us. We might get to go travel and actually take a vacation. Won't that be good? But what he's looking for is the end product. What's coming at the end? Out of 25,000 head of slaughter cattle, feedlot cattle. Mr. White, he'd never tell you this because he's too humble of a man. Out of 25,000 head, all these feedlots get together and put on a big deal where they select 6 head of cattle per feed yard. And out of 25,000 head, they selected 6 head of Mr. White's cattle to be put in this program. That's pretty awesome. Is that not awesome? But see, he understands the end product. See, for me, what I want to hear, I'm talking the end product here. I'm talking about one day that my kids will hear what I so long for them to hear one day is, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the rest that I have prepared for you. And until my kids hear that, my job as a daddy's not done. What I'm trying to get them to is not just to college and not just to get them there before they go to jail, but get them there, get them married to a godly spouse, help them raise their children, and then one day, because of all the work and the investment and things that I've done and the principles that God has given us in His Word, my kids will stand before the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and they will hear Him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant, because that is the end product of what we need to be looking for as dads today.